would be friendly with us, but they wasn't our friends.
Can you say
That's a
that
big
again,
difference.
please? Can you please look in your camera and say that again? Because
Well,
that's got to be understood.
Yeah, our parents can be friendly with us, of course, but they were not our friends. We were not on the same level. You know, they're the parent, they're the adult, they're the authoritative person, and we're the child. We're supposed to soak that, like a sponge, soak in that information, that wisdom, the knowledge they've given us, and then we continue to pass it on to generation to generation. So the difference, at least that I see, it seems like the parents now want to be their children's friends.
Do you think that's because, I'm going to come straight to you, do you think that's because they've never had love, they've never had support, and there is no one else but that child that they had, maybe out of wedlock?
Well, I've always was told, and just looking at my grandparents, my parents, that you always want your children, your grandchildren, to do better than you did. I mean,
That's all ethical lines, children
correct.
of God.
Correct. That's what you want. So of course you will make those sacrifices that you might have to, suffer more so that your children, your grandchildren can have better when they get of age and pass that down the line. So to me, it was no different. I think that's what everybody, in most cases, want to do. And different circumstances can change that, but for the most part, that's what you want.
You're going to laugh at this, and I hope you all do too. When you have a child at an early age, your days of having fun are over.
Well,
Now, that's what the old people you say. Your days are over because you can travel much more freely and frequently
right.
with no baggage.
And I could speak on that because I did have a child in high school, my senior year, my oldest child. So I was blessed. Then I went straight to college, but my parents filled in, and
That's
they
family.
made sure. Correct. They made sure that that when they came to see me play at University of Pittsburgh, they would bring my young daughter with me, so I was able to still bond, even though I was in college trying to do better. Be able to provide for my daughter and those things like that. So that's an important thing to understand about family sticking together and trying to help out, because I didn't want to have a baby as a senior in high school, but it happened.
Well, the other thing that comes into play is that you understood your responsibilities because of the daddy you had.
Correct.
That's my point that I'm hammering home, is that someone does not have to be your biological father, and you look at them in the aspect of being a father figure, a mentor figure, or better yet, just a person of structure that is guiding you in a better dilemma than you're in now and for the foreseen future.
And I've had, besides my father and my grandfather, I've had coaches, particularly my high school coach, Coach Tony Fiducci. He was a mentor to me also, and very strict disciplinary guy. And the great thing about that, he's passed on and all that, but when I go back and talk to teams after I left high school and went to college and the pros, when I was speaking to some of his former players, I was amazed at how much they said he talked about me, loved me, and he's one of those guys, I knew he loved me, but he never said it.
Well, that was their era.
Correct.
You just hit a very, very vivid point. I hug young men. I scold young men too.
Absolutely.
And I've seen you do. We've been together.
That's right.
But it's like a culture shock to them. No one has never told them, I care. I love you. I'm here. You can give me more.
Correct.
Now, in that aspect, when you say give me more, is it more of yourself,
Right.
your actions, your duties,
Right.
your diligence, your focus, or is it give me more so I can win more? You want to speak on that too?
Well,
Because that happens a lot.
especially coaching in high school. I coached a lot of years at Westside, and then I coached at Weequay, and I've even coached at Barringer for 1 year. Most of that tough exterior, they still children. Sometimes they had to grow up faster than they wanted to for a lot of different reasons, but when you start peeling that onion back, and you start showing them some love. You give them discipline, but you give them a hug. You talk to them. You may take them out just to talk to them and make sure that they know that you really care.
And they might not be eating. That might be their only meal.
And I'm glad you said that, because I found out, another one of my players found out he was homeless. Never knew it. But these kids put on these, exterior things, like everything is fine.
Was he a tough kid?
Tough kid. Very tough
He
kid.
wasn't a quitter.
Wasn't a quitter. One of my favorite players.
He was a man amongst boys at that time.
Absolutely.
And a leader.
And a leader.
And he's doing fine.
Yes.
So now, we speak of that on that end. What about the kid that's the introvert? That's an athlete. What have you experienced with that as a coach? Now, not as because you've dealt with it too, probably as a player on every level that you've been on.
Correct.
Explain that to everyone, how an introvert is still a person that belongs.
Oh, absolutely. We all belong. No matter what ethnic background you come from, if you really want to learn your craft, and I think we spoke about this before, me personally, when I'm teaching somebody, I like to have a blank slate so I could teach them the right way of what he or she needs to be doing to get to the goal that they want to have. Sometimes when you got people who've doing things and they, for some reason, was taught wrong, it's hard to break that cycle to get them to understand. But whatever background you come from, if you show them that you care and you want to teach them, most people are really willing to listen to you until you got to break that. It's a wall. It's a wall
I think
that people put up.
Tone, I think it's called consistency, but I also think it's called a person can feel your compassion. Like,
correct.
I feel your compassion that we finally got to do this. But I know you're my big little brother,
right.
Period. So
Correct.
I'm not going to put any false airs. I want someone to get something out of this program from a person that has been there
Right.
by God's blessings and the God-given talent. Not so much that was their desire to get there, because that doesn't always work.
Right.
You can be the best player, but now we're going to go to playing the game. Can you play the game or can you play the game? Care to speak on that?
Well, yes, I definitely. It's a few things when you think about it. First of all, most people think, for some reason, they act like athletes, not human beings. We have highs, we have lows, we have things.
Do you?
All of that, yes, absolutely.
But you got money, you got cars, you got everything materialistic that the world can give you.
That's it. It's materialistic. That's about it. But that's a whole nother level of.
Oh no, take your time, because they need to know this. Take your time. We need to understand all this, dissect all of this here. Take your time.
Well, let's break it down this way. From high school, I was blessed. I was All-American. I went to the University of Pittsburgh. I played my freshman year. I broke my ankle. So now, my goal is, of course, to go to the pros. This is my first time I've ever been hurt. Broke my ankle. Most of my freshman year was done. Sophomore year, still got to plate my ankle, and I'm trying to get back to right. In my mind, I told you I'm a student of the game. I knew I just needed 2 years to plan. And that ended up working well. Okay, get drafted, first round. I played 10 years in the National Football League. I played 6 years with the SeaHawks, 1 year with the Rams, and 3 years with the then Redskins. Now they call it Commanders. After 6 years in Seattle, they say they don't want me anymore. Lack of better terms, I got fired.
Was it the fact that you had been there so long, and this is the business,
Correct.
so you're not talking about the football.
Correct.
So going back.
It's definitely business, because I understood the business, because I was making, a lot of money, close to $1 million, and they wanted to bring somebody in for less. They could pay them 3 times less than they was paying me.
Could you explain how that works in football or professional athletes, how your top blanche, or should I say the cream of the crop,
Correct.
and they get 3 other people.
Correct.
Can you explain that to me and the public? How do they?
Well, football is a short shelf life. For everybody, you got the rare people that play 10, 15, 16 years maybe. The average in the NFL is only 3 years.
This is not just the backs.
No, this
is period.
Football, period.
Across the board, really.
Across the board. That's why, a little inside information, you don't really get a pension until 3 years and 3 games. And if you're not a player, you will be released before those extra 3 games come in.
Really?
Yes. So it's a cutthroat business, and it is a business. I think we spoke before off air that after my first 2 years in the league, I kind of didn't want to get close to people that, unless you were drafted high, I knew you would be on the team, because free agent guys coming in and people trying out. If you wasn't a player, I saw you on Monday, but on Wednesday I ain't see you no more.
So Wednesday is the day.
Yeah, Monday was you come. If you play a game on Sunday, Monday you coming in and getting treatment. You looking at the film and stuff from the game on Sunday. Tuesday is an off day. Everything takes place on Tuesday.
Really?
Tuesday is an off day in the league.
In college, we had I think it was Thursday or was it Monday? Monday.
Right.
It was Monday.
Right. So because you played on Saturday, Sunday was your day for healing and treatments and all that. Monday was your day off.
And you start back Tuesday.
Correct. So the same in the NFL.
Now that was Tuesday. Division II. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right.
I just wanted to, that's my big little brother. I had to.
But yes, and so it was kind of difficult for me to start making friends with people, because you see them one day and then they're gone.
Really?
The next. And,
because it's that competitive. You're trying to take food out of my mouth. That's basically. Is that raw enough to say it that way?
It's very raw like that. You can say it that way because it's not like the NBA. You got 82 games. Major League Baseball, 163 games. Football now is 17 games. That's all you have.
Was it 14 then?
When I first came in the league, it was 14. Then it went to 16.
Ooh, I'm telling my age.
No, you know what? It was always 16 for me.
Okay.
14 was the guys. You're telling your age.
But it was really that.
It was very tough, because when you lost a game in the NFL, it seemed like it was like a funeral, man.
Really?
Because the coaches, like I said, it was only 16 of them.
But the physicality and the mental concept too?
Correct. The physically, most people, you were NFL, you were physically able to play the game.
But mentally?
It's from the neck up.
And the financial, it's
from the neck up to keep you in the league. There was always reasons why you would be out the league. Usually drugs,
okay,
of course. You could eat yourself out of the league.
For real?
Oh yeah. Come in, they want.
So that scale is real.
Oh, the scale is real. And back in my day, we got fined $500 a pound. I don't know how much it is now.
A pound?
A pound over. So, if I was an outside linebacker when I first came in, I was 245. So now if I'm 250, they give you a certain amount of day within that week. That's why everybody was in the sauna trying to sweat it out. Otherwise, it's $500 each pound that you over.
Could they still play?
Yeah, you can still play.
But you had to pay the fine.
And the money was coming out of your check. It wasn't like, I'm not going to pay them. The money was coming out of your check.
So wait a minute. Now I'm going to make you laugh. We got to laugh, y'all. So a guy like Refrigerator, Perry, he didn't care.
Well, yeah. Some guys.
He just paid the fine and keep eating.
But it has to be reasonable, because they know.
But he's a run stopper. It's a difference.
Correct. And just like anything else, if you're at the top of your game, they could turn a blind eye to certain things.
Okay. Now let me ask you this here. You've been blessed, and we might as well put it out there. One of your closest friends and teammates owns a store in Orange, New Jersey. His name?
Al Catano?
Al Catano is a gentleman from Elizabeth High, tough player, great guy, heck of a businessman.
Yes.
That example I want to use is how you can blow that much money, and you can have people around you that show you how to manipulate and orchestrate your monies when they're at their highest,
right? Whereas
they will work for you later.
Right.
Explain how so many that were in the league and are not in the league, that are in the league and not in the league now,
right,
that have squandered away, not because of their own doing, but because of bad investments, correct, not having a circle behind them, and last but least, just no knowledge, because you've never had that much money before.
Well, honestly, you just answered the question. That's the reason why. For those three things you just said. The circle that they have around them is not supportive. They all just want to be around you for what you can give them. Okay, a lot of people are not conditioned or learned about money.
This has nothing to do with ethnicity, though.
No, no.
That's what I want to make very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't race that has nothing to do with it.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Period. And you not being knowledgeable of what to do with your finances.